So we continue with our Laws of Shabbos class. Today is class number 37. And with HaShem, we're going to learn in the schools of Refuah Shlema, our dear friend David ben Abraham. Okay, so he got sick. All right. So we start with the Sefer Shmiras Halashon. And the topic today, exceedingly precious. Sefer Malos Hamidos continues to demonstrate that attitude of peace is exceedingly precious. After creating heaven and earth, God's next task was the creation of the light. Bereshit 1:3. And light represents peace. As it is written, who forms the light and creates darkness, makes peace and creates evil. It's from Yeshayahu 45:7. The sages rule that when one has to choose between purchasing Shabbos candles and wine for Kiddush, Shabbos candles take precedence. For the light brings harmony in one's home. It's from Talmud Shabbos 23b. Okay, so let's try to understand. So first of all, they say that light is very important. So light is associated with peace. So when we light the Shabbos candles, there are three reasons why we light. Three reasons, right? Our Chachamim says. So first one is Kavod Shabbos, meaning respect for Shabbos, right? Second is Kavod Shabbos. Second is for what is it?
For the mitzvah of Shamor v'Zachor.
For enjoyment of Shabbos.
Okay.
Right? Onek Shabbos. So Onek Shabbos, to enjoy, right? And third one is for Shalom Bayis, for peaceful home.
I also heard that the two lights represent Shamor and Zachor, right? Like
yes.
The two aspects of Shabbat.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, but basically, basic mitzvah is done with one light, right? But they say since it says Shamor with Zachor, in one time when HaShem said the Ten Commandments, it says Shamor. Second time Zachor. They say it was one saying, we didn't hear. Okay, doesn't matter. So basically, one of the reasons when we light Shabbos candle is peace in the house, right? Shalom Bayis. What does it mean, Shalom Bayis? So that, for example, you light. It says that you have to light not candles, lights for Shalom Bayis. What does it mean? You have to light lights in a restaurant, in your your closet, in your bedroom, somewhere, so you can have lights somewhere in the living room, so you can see where you're going. You understand? So that's why it says it's very important to have light. So one just lighting Shabbos candles is not enough. You have to have more light, whatever, even electric light, so people can see where they're going. Okay. The Mishnah is in Gittin 5:8 lists a number of enactments which were instituted to promote harmony among the community. These things were declared by the sages because they are among the ways to foster harmony. Okay, a Kohen reads first from the Torah scroll in a synagogue, and after him Levi, and after him Israel, because this is the ways of that foster harmony. Right. So our sages in their great wisdom, they saw that unless people are told what to do, they're not going to. It's not going to be peace. So everybody would want it to be number one, to read from the Torah, to be called for the Torah, right? So they say, let's give it to Kohen. The halacha is it's only you have to call for the Torah 7 people, right? But then say, you know what? We start with Kohen. We start with Levi. And it's only a few things that many people, this reform, and other people, they did not challenge. Very interesting, right? So they don't see on women, right? The women rights, all this.
Yeah.
So they never.
The fact that they do parasha reading on Shabbat, I've been to Reform Show. That the fact that do parasha reading on Shabbat is very interesting. That's the thing they didn't challenge. There are certain things they didn't challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I was trying to say that they never challenged this part, that Kohen is called first. So sages instituted to create a peace in a nation. So let's do that.
You know what's funny? That there was when I first started, there was a reform shul in Calgary, And I think, I'm not sure, I think he was a Kohen, but maybe he was just pretending to be a Kohen. The rabbi was a Kohen, and he even gave me the, the Kohanim blessings. And he
Bless.
he gave
That's
me,
great.
along with, he gave me like the blessings, and he was even doing that, in his own style.
Yeah, that's very, very sad, actually.
It's a big fall. It's a big fall. It makes it show, that it's Judaism, but it's worse than Christianity.
Okay, very sad. All right, so continue. So by creating the immutable order for the Torah reading, the sages prevented quarreling among the community. So who is going first? So everybody wants to go first. Okay, we say Kohen goes first. Also it is written, here the Torah's ways are ways of pleasantness. Okay, and all of the paths are peaceful. It's from Mishlei 3:17. Okay, it's actually when we take out the Torah, we say this verse. Okay, the Medrash Rabbah, the Medrash Bamidbar Rabbah 15:13 enumerates 13 items which are exceedingly precious to HaShem, as evident by the scripture use of the term "loy" for me, in connection with them, right? Thus signifying that being God's prized possessions, yet only with regard to peace, the term "loy" for me used twice, as it is written in if he would grasp my fortress, he would make peace for me. Peace for he make for me. It's from Yeshayahu 27:5. So that shows how peace is important within the Jewish nation. And it's, as we know, it's the hardest thing to achieve ever. Okay, so let's stop here. So continue with laws of Shabbos. So you want me to do a review or just continue? Tell me.
It's not a bad idea to do a little review. It's a good idea. I also have.
Okay, good idea. No problem. Okay. So I was planning to do a review if new people join. Okay, but okay. So let's do a review.
You never know. Maybe somebody will join in the meantime. It's a good idea.
No problem. Okay, let's do a review. I don't want to wait for anybody. Okay, laundering. Okay, so we said laundering. It's one of the 39 melachas. I'm sorry, it's a talada. I'm sorry, laundering is talada, and we said talada is a like branch out of the main melacha, which is called bleaching. So we said that they would bleach the sheep's wool to make it like a universal color, and then dye it in whatever color they need. Okay, so and we said that laundering is prohibited biblically. Okay, so meaning it's very important not to do any activities, right, that associated with laundry. And we said that melacha of laundering, it is connected with absorbent materials. So not always, but most of the time we're going to see. So if the dirt or something like foreign particles can be absorbed in this material, so and you try to get them out, that's basically called laundry. So the washing is not associated with hard material, for example, like wood. We say glass, right?
For leather, things like that also. In terms of
leather, let's put leather on a side for now, because
of course.
Let's talk about only hard materials, because leather is not hard, it's pliable, right? So glass, metal, and ceramics. So those are classic example of the hard material, right? And that's why we mentioned last time that we can wash dishes, right? It's one practical application. And we said it doesn't matter how you're trying to clean this object, what are we trying to do, right? Whether it could be liquid, any liquid, water or some other cleansing liquid, like a vinegar or some other, like whatever is it, it's not allowable. Okay, and it says it does not matter if you try to clean the whole fabric, whatever the whole item, or just small piece. It's forbidden, right? So of course nobody's like doing laundry like that, just clean a small piece and leave the whole there is Dori. It's not, but anyway, it is forbidden biblically. Okay. And we said that there are 3 different methods of laundering that prohibited biblically. And even one of them, so for us, it's like 3 steps as we do a laundry in our house. But each one of them is prohibited separately. So one of them is...
washing with like a cleansing agent.
Yes. So with water, a cleansing agent. Second is a dust that absorbent in the fabric. So it's also, so it was Dori. So it doesn't matter. You use use water or liquid, or you just you use a brush. It does not make any difference. And the third one, removing stain from the fabric. Okay. So we started last time with washing fabric with water on another cleansing agent, and we said there are 3 steps, right? That's what I meant. 3 steps: soaking the fabric. So that's what we do in. That's how this laundry machine is working. Then scrubbing the fabric, right? And we're going to the scrub and wringing out the fabric. So wringing the excess of water. So all of these steps are prohibited biblically, even one of the steps. So that doesn't matter. You soak it; it's already biblical prohibition, right? You wring it. So, for example, it was washed before, right? And it's like it's still wet. So you,
or even like I think we discussed in a little bit later that even if it was, let's say, soaked in some sort of a dirty liquid, you can.
Yes. So I mean, in dirty liquid, we said it's not considered to be washing. It's not. But it's the act of wringing. But wringing, it's a separate step, which is absolutely forbidden. Okay. So, and we said what is soaking? They say it's soaking dirty fabric in water or another cleansing agent, right? So why would you soak? Because it will soften the dirt, and it would be easy to get rid of this dirt. That's the purpose of the soaking. And we said it does not matter how, like in what sequence you do the soaking. You put your clothes, for example, into the water, in the container with the water, or you pour water on top of this. Right? Even if it runs off, it does not make any difference. So it's still considered soaking, and it's not allowed.
And I think we discussed that soaking is only for absorbent material, right? So
Yes.
But yes, leather shoes or not. Let's use the term plastic slippers, rubber, to be safe.
Yeah.
You can soak, but you can't scrub it off. I think that's
exactly. But it's because it's different steps. So all of these absorbent materials, right? You can soak if there's a leather or some other things like plastic. There is you cannot soak. I mean, it's almost useless, I guess, right? Okay, so it's 1 second. So we start with soaking, and we said, so what is exempt? So we said leather, plastic, and rubber. So I mean, meaning you cannot soak. Okay, so you cannot scratch them, but you cannot soak. Right? But you can pour water, as we said. So, for example, you came from the outside, and you have in your rubber shoes on because it's dirty and muddy and stuff like that. So you can pour clean water just to get rid of the mud, and there is no problem.
The general rule that you said is that if you can put it in a washing machine, then it's an absorbent material.
Yes. Yeah. That's the thing. Okay, and. The only thing we said that if you pour on a leather shoes, so you have to be careful not to pour on the shoelaces that absorbent. Usually they do. They even though they make all these synthetic materials, but they still absorb, right? And we said you have to be careful with stitches. So stitches, I guess they do not absorb if they made of this synthetic material. I mean, if it's like water-resistant shoes, if it's not water-resistant, you're going to ruin these shoes. So it's not a good idea. Yeah. Okay. Then we said soaking clean fabric. And we said there is a discussion in the poskim. Some say there is no problem because you're not improving the fabric. If you put you just freshly laundered in the shirt, you put in the water, what is going to do to it, right? It's not going to improve, and it's not going to make it dirty. But some poskim say no. As we said before, it looks like muddy sign, right? So we said don't do it. So many times, as we said, we're trying to go by stringent opinion, especially when you don't derive any benefit by doing otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we said soaking in dirty liquids, and we said soaking in dirty liquids is not considered to be cleaning, right? Laundering. So the goal of the laundry to make it cleaner, and if you soak in dirty water, so it's not considered to be clean. And an example that we give, I think it's a beautiful example, that you can wash the towel, right? When you wash your hands, so you can you can dry your hands in a towel, so your hands are wet. So basically, you're making the towel wet, right, and dirty. So because there is always dirt on your hands. Doesn't matter how you wash it, good or bad, or some soap when left on the hands. So it goes to the towel. Okay. Okay. So of course, and as we already said before, the problem that we have to watch out. Do not make this clean object like let's say a towel, whatever, too wet, so you would not get to wring it. So that's the thing. Okay. Then we went to B, and we said scrubbing, and we said, well, what does it mean scrubbing? It's agitating the fabric. So it doesn't matter. You do it on fabric on fabric like this, or you put like on a washing board, or whatever you do.
Even rubbing two pieces of the same fabric together.
Yes. Or rubbing two pieces of the fabric together, or using the brush, the hand. I mean, whatever you use. And even they go like back and forth like this. That's what the laundry machine does. It goes in circle, and you like. So basically, they say it does not matter. So all of these things are forbidden. But we said all of these pertain only to the absorbent fabric, right? So let me read this last line. Unlike the prohibition of soaking, which applies only to absorbent fabric, the prohibition of scrubbing applies to any soft fabric material, any soft meaning scrubbing, which makes sense, right? Including leather, rubber, and nylon. So basically, you can have a stain on a leather, sure. So you cannot remove it. So for example, we said you can pour water to remove this, but you cannot scrub. That's a different thing.
Soft material, right? It said if you're
soft, yes, soft material. Then we said that you can scrub the hard leather, whatever it means. This hard leather. Maybe like if you have like these boots, this cowboy, not cowboy boots probably. So, but like these working boots, right? It's like very hard leather. So it says the scrubbing them is prohibited, but only by rabbinic decree. Okay.
Right. The hard material is also forbidden by the rabbinic decree.
It does not say that. So, but scrubbing. So basically, what does it mean? So if you have a stain on your tiles, right, on the tiles, so basically you can you scrub? I said yes, you can scrub. But I mean, okay. So let's leave it for now. Okay. Then we said scrubbing plastic. So about plastic, they say, I'm not sure. They did not say what kind of plastic they mean. So they said, since it is questionable whether plastic is considered to be hard material or not hard material. So one more time, I'm not sure what kind of plastic they mean. So they say you can scrub, but not gently, not forcefully. So like formica. The countertop. So I would say it's a hard material.
Yeah.
Right. It's not. So I think here they meant something like more like soft.
Okay, Moshe Feinstein. I think there was a leniency that he put about plastic.
Yes. Yeah, so he said once there is a doubt. So, but since his time, there are many kinds of plastic. You know what I mean? And some there's so many kinds, and they're very advanced. So, but it's better, like as we said last time, it's better to go by a stringent opinion. Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
So I always say, so like if you eat, right, kind of sauce or whatever, oil from salad, whatever, stain your jacket, stain your shirt, whatever. So I always say HaShem is planning to give you a new shirt. Well, why you worry? Just observe the law and that's it. He's going to provide. What do you mean? He does not want it to be presentable? He does, right? So just leave it alone. Don't touch it. Okay, so we got up to C. So that's all what we said last time. So new material. C, ringing schita, right? Ringing out of the liquid from a fabric is originally the final stage of the cleaning process. Ringing alone is considered an act of laundering because the water absorbed in the fabric generally contains some dirt, and when it is wrung out of the fabric, the fabric is cleaned to the greater degree than it was previously. Okay, so I mean he's very straightforward. Even as we said, if somebody soaks something in a dirty water, so even the water is dirty, but let's say this fabric was even dirtier. So when you wring the fabric, it becomes cleaner. Maybe not perfectly clean. We did not say perfectly clean, but at least I would say, let's put it this way: dirty water that was absorbed in a fabric would get off.
Yeah.
At least, okay. Under biblical law, it is forbidden only to wring out the truly absorbent fabric, such as wool, cotton, linen, and sponge. The sages, however, forbade wringing out the even material made of fiber that is not truly absorbent, but can trap water, such as it's like a steel wool. Okay, so before we go to steel wool, so let's try to understand. So, but biblical law, we say only truly absorbent, right? All of this cotton, all of this, right? And sponge. So sponge, I would say sponge even when it's dry. Forget about wet. And all of this material, they're going to be. All of these materials are going to be muktzah. So basically, if they're in the water, soak for whatever reason, so you're not allowed to touch them. Why? Because you might come to drink it. Yeah. Okay. So basically, by biblical law, we said only truly absorbent. The sages, however, forbade wringing out even material made of fiber that is not truly absorbent but can trap the water. So there's steel wool. I don't know, I have not used steel wool for many years, but I think it's an amazing invention. You know what steel wool is?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. Okay, I mean,
they sometimes use that for cleaning also. So that's what I was thinking. Steel wool sometimes it's very fine.
Yes.
And it can be used to actually in some places to clean. And
yes.
I mean, I think
it traps water. So that's
yeah. It does.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sometimes I think they dab oil with it. Also, they do all kinds of use that to polish things. It has multiple uses. Yeah, but it is definitely an absorbent material.
Yeah. Since the fiber traps liquid between them, so even though it's steel, it is not material. It is steel. Wringing out the fabric resembles wringing out the absorbent fabric. So you wring in the steel wool or a sponge. I mean, the effect is the same. Under the rabbinic prohibition, it is also forbidden to squeeze water out of one hair on Shabbos. Right. So basically, people who go to mikveh on Shabbos morning, for example, right? You go to mikveh. So you just careful, just touch, try not to squeeze. And it's a good idea to have your own towel. Make sure there are towels, because sometimes people use few people would use.
It's a good idea. You wanna use the mikveh on Erev Shabbat, get a nice haircut and a beard trim, and
Yes. Great. But I think the biggest issue is for women. Have to go to the mikvah Friday night.
Yeah.
And if they have long hair, that's they have to be extremely careful. So of course, in the winter time, it's not so easy. So they want to dry as much as possible, but they must be very, very careful. However, this pertains only to the hair that grows densely and drops water. It drops water in it. For example, hair on the head and the beard. Not hair in a widely spaced. For example, the hair of the arm and legs. Okay, I mean, yes. There is no squeezing, because to squeeze they have to be absorbed. So even though on the hands you have hair, but it's so widely spaced. The water can stay there. You see the drops on your hand, right? But they're not absorbed. It's just staying. So that's big discount. Articles that neither absorb nor drop liquid are not subject of the prohibition on ringing. This includes, for example, nylon bottle brush with widely spaced bristles and synthetic scouching pads with widely spaced fibers, which do not trap water. So basically, these things you can use to wash dishes or glasses on Shabbos. We have those, and after I tried them many years ago, I tried once, and said never again. It's such a waste of of soap and your energy. It's just unbelievable. You cannot actually wash something productively. You understand? So it's cheaper. The way I see it, cheaper to buy a few more dishes, few more glasses, and that's it. And don't drive yourself crazy with washing dishes. Okay, so continue. So we got to the summary of section 1. There are 3 distinct stages of the process washing fabric in water, and each act is forbidden. Number 1, soaking. It's forbidden to soak any absorbent fabric in water or another cleansing agent, or to pour water on absorbent fabric. This prohibition does not apply to non-absorbent fabric, for example, leather. Meaning soaking does not apply to leather. Or soaking absorbent fabric in a dirty water. So all of the absorbent fabric included in prohibition of soaking, not absorbent like leather is not, right? And if this absorbent fabric is soaked in a dirty water.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With respect to absorbent fabric, that is clean. We follow this region of poskim who prohibit soaking. Okay, so meaning the clean article we do not soak. So basically, it would play a big role. For example, if you need to wipe off a spill, somebody spilled wine, right? So you cannot. So many times they say you cannot take a clean shirt, I don't know, like T-shirt, right? T-shirt, because even if you put it in dirty water, you might get to wring it, right? So this T-shirt cost me, I don't know, $5, $10. So okay, so they say be very, very careful. Second stage is scrubbing. It is prohibited to scrub or agitate any wet fabric. This prohibition applies even in non-absorbent fabric. Plastic may be scrubbed gently but not forcefully. So scrubbing, we say one more time, to any wet fabric. Scrubbing. This prohibition applies even to non-absorbent fabric. Okay. Like we said, like leather or something. Okay, continue. Wringing. It is forbidden under biblical law to wring out the liquid from absorbent fabric that has been washed. Okay. It is forbidden by rabbinical decree to wring out the liquid of non-absorbent fabric that wraps liquid between its fibers or from the hair. Okay, as we said. This prohibition does not apply to material that neither absorb nor trap water. But we're going to see later on, I think, maybe in this book, or if you have this raincoat, so you cannot just shake it like vigorously, so it would get rid of the world war. In some sense, some say it's like a ring. You understand? So you can shake off a little, like they say you do with the plastic, but vigorously you cannot do that. Okay. So part number 2, removing dust from the garment, the prohibition. So this part is many people, I think they get confused with this part, with the dust. So they think it's what's the problem with the dust? I'm not washing, right? The prohibition. According to some poskim, shaking out the garment to remove dust or powder or chalk that has been absorbed can fall under the biblical prohibition of laundry. The same applies to the brushing of the dust. Other poskim dispute this and maintain that the removal of dust does not constitute laundry. Okay, so basically there is a room to out, right? So some poskim say that even shaking to get all to get rid of the dust, right? It is biblical, right? Whether you just shake it and you using the brush does not matter. Or some poskim say it's not. Okay, so basically in many cases when you have doubt, when you have 2 opinions and one say yes and one say opposite no, so we're trying to follow it's like a formula, right? We're trying to follow the stringent opinion, but in cases of necessity you can be a little more lenient and go by this more lenient opinion, since it is there are poskim who you can rely on. So not always you have to go by strict opinion. If there is many poskim say allowed, so you can use and rely on that opinion, especially when you see the people just start. So you definitely do not rebuke them, and because they don't do anything against halakha. Okay, so let's see. This poskim agree, however, that one may not use brush to remove the dust, nor may one shake or rub garment vigorously. Oh, that's a thing. Okay, but only shake it lightly or brush it lightly with a hand or dry cloth. Okay, so they agree on some things, which is a big deal, right? So they say that first of all, they say you cannot use brush. That's good. I mean, if you use brush, you can dust it very well and completely perfect. And you cannot shake it hard, vigorously, right? So they say you can brush it, you can shake it only lightly. So if it's like somewhere on the top, this dust, so it would fall off. If it's got absorbed, it's not. You're lightly shaking, it's not going to help. That's for sure.
I think a lot of times with the hats, right? A lot of times the dust collects. You could maybe brush off maybe a little bit, nothing vigorous.
Yes. Right. So okay, exactly. So and they say and only shake it lightly or brush lightly with the hand or the cloth. So for example, you have I don't know, some dust, some hair, you just lightly look it off. That's it. So don't press it, basically. In practice, we follow the stringent view and forbid dusting altogether. So that's the view that we follow. We don't dust. However, the prohibition pertains only to removing dust that are trapped between the fibers of the fabric. Simply removing
between the fabric.
Exactly. So if it's on the top, it's a different story.
Yeah,
basically that's what they're trying to say. However, the prohibition pertains only to removing dust that are trapped between the fibers of the fabric. Simply removing not adherent surface dirt that has not blended with the fabric is not considered laundry. So that's a huge difference. So if it's on top, if it's did not get absorbed, if you can say that, in trapped. They use the word trapped between the fibers. So it's not considered laundry because those are two separate objects, the way I see it. Okay. There is important difference between the previously discussed prohibition of washing the fabric with water and with the prohibition of removing dust. Okay, so let's see what's the difference. Washing with water is forbidden even the fabric is only slightly dirty. Okay, as mentioned above, in practice, one should not even soak clean fabric in water, as we said before. So there is a doubt. Some say yes, some say no, but we don't soak even clean fabric. Yeah. By contrast, dusting is forbidden only when the garment is significantly dirty, which is very important. So let's see why. The factor that determines whether the garment is significantly double quotes, dirty is whether the amount of dust on it is sufficient to deter the owner from wearing it in normal circumstances. So basically, if it's so dirty that you would be embarrassed to go outside, so it is for you considered to be significantly dirty. And there is a rule in halacha, right? In some instances, that it depends completely on the individual, on his character, right? On his attitude to things. So so one thing, the same thing for one could be allowed, for one absolutely forbidden. I'll give you one example, very interesting example. So, for example, if somebody would not drink the water with a filter, without the filter, right? So tap water and you say you have the filter, let's say there is no electricity, water just go through, okay, no problem. So if he would not drink it without filter, if you bypass the filter, so he cannot drink it, the water with filter, because he needs this separation, right? The dirty particles from the water. You understand? And it's not allowed in Shabbos. So if I do not care, I can drink like this and like this. So for me, it's just a little improvement. Okay, so I prefer to drink it from the filter. But if filter is broken, this and that, there is no filter, I can drink it without filter. So for me, there is no problem. For him, absolutely forbidden. You understand? Wow. So here is the same thing. So some people, I don't know, so even men, it's so ridiculous. They would stand like in front of the window, and because there is no mirrors, or in a restaurant in the mirror, and they would Jewish man would like check himself and this and that. How I'm looking, how I'm smelling, and leave my hair. So for this guy, even like small, tiny spot would be, he would not go outside. He would skip the whole prayer, not to embarrass himself in his mind. So for him, this garment is significantly dirty. For other people, it's okay, it's spot, whatever. It's not. I had a bigger spots, right? He would say. So for him, it's not dirty, basically. So that's one of the cases when it depends on the individual approach. If there is so much dust on the garment that the person would normally choose to wear a different one in its place, removing the dust is considered an act of laundry and is prohibited. So there is second concept. So basically, if you have a second garment, if you let's talk about jacket, right? So if you have another jacket, you say, okay, it's got soiled. Okay, I'm going to wear another jacket. But if the guy sees his jacket, okay, it's soiled a little, but okay, who cares? I mean, nobody's looking at whatever, right? So then it's not dirty, right? But if there is not enough dust to deter the owner from wearing it, its removal is not considered the act of laundry and permitted. So if it's a little dust, right, for him, it's not going to stop him, right? So he can remove it because he would go like this anyway. He'll go like outside anyway. So that's why it is permitted. So I would we can draw the parallel with the filter and no filter, right? Because he can drink without filter water. So I mean, but he would prefer, of course, with filter. It's a little improvement.
Yeah.
So here's the same approach with the dust. This determination is based on one personal attitude of every individual, and his or her particular case. So that's, as we said before, it's up to the person, up to his character, up to his attitude. Note that if one would normally wear the garment in its dusted condition on a weekday, but would be deterred from wearing it by wearing it by the honor of Shabbos, removing the dust is not considered an act of laundry and is permitted. So that's very interesting idea also. It's in parentheses. So if during the week for him there is no problem, I mean he's working in construction, let's say. So he's a painter. So few spots on his pants, on his shirt. Who cares, right? So during the week he's not as particular, right? And only in honor of Shabbos he wants to look more presentable. So only in honor of Shabbos he wants to look more presentable. Then we say no problem. You can dust the garment, and as we said, light and a little shake. That's it. Okay. If one is in doubt as to whether he would normally wear the garment, so of course, garment in its dusted condition, the following guidelines apply. Okay, so that's if you're not sure. So okay, if the fabric is of dark color, for example, black, brown, navy blue, and the garment is in relatively new condition. So if it's dark, relatively new condition, it is presumable that the dust would deter the owner from wearing that garment. So if it's dark, if it's a good condition and it's dusty, person is not going to wear, because it's more like apparent. If you have a white and you have some dust, not white. I mean, yeah, even on white some dust you're not going to see. The owner may therefore not remove the dust. Otherwise, it would be presumed not to deter him or her from wearing the garment and may be removed. So if it's different colors, but one more time we say if he's in doubt. If he's not in doubt, so he can go he would not go without jacket to the shul, right? It's proper to go like a special Shabbos to wear a suit in honor of Shabbos, right? Even in warm places, I would say. All right. So if he would go like this to the shul, then there is no problem. So that does not matter what color is it. So we're talking about color only when he's in doubt, right? One more time, dark colors and relatively new condition of the garment, you're not allowed. But only if you have doubts. If you don't have doubts, no problem. Okay. Okay, so B, permitted methods or removing dust. Even in circumstances when one is permitted to remove dust, for example, the garment is only slightly dusty, one may not use a brush, nor one may rub or shake the garment vigorously, as we said before, right? No brush under no circumstances. One may only brush slightly with a hand or with a dry cloth, or they shake the garment lightly. So even if it's permitted, it's only a little dusty. So that's what. One more time: no brush with a hand, with the dust cloth, and shake it lightly. Asking Gentile to remove dust. In situation where it is forbidden to remove dust from the garment, it is nevertheless permitted to ask Gentiles to do so. Mm-hmm. That's one of the exceptions. Usually we cannot, whatever is forbidden for a Jew, you cannot ask non-Jew to do it for you.
Yeah.
Okay, but since it is, I would say it is more like a rabbinical, right? So it's for your Shabbos needs, so you can ask non-Jew. Okay, this constitutes as an exception to the general rule of forbids asking Gentile to do something that a Jew is prohibited from doing on Shabbos. Since, as noted above, the prohibition of the removing dust is disputed by some poskim. Okay, not because I said it's rabbinical. No, I completely forgot. Because some poskim say there is no problem to begin with. Okay. With regard to the having Gentiles to remove dust, we rely upon lenient view. That's why we allow us we allow to ask the non-Jew to remove this dust. So it's very, very interesting. So, but as we said last time, so when you go to Shemaim after 120 years, you want as many rabbis on your side as possible. So not only some say. So, when we learn Shulchan Aruch, many times Shulchan Aruch
maybe better to not say the non-Jew to do it, because you might get him to do something else for you. Like, maybe do this. Maybe you know what? Watch this for me. You never know. Things that happen. Maybe like, he's so makpid on the looks of that garment. He's like, okay, just put a little bit of water. You know how to do it, because you're not supposed to tell him explicitly. Be like, you know how to do it, but then what if he does it in a different way? There's so many prohibitions that come with it, right?
Yes. So I mean, but even the way I understand exactly as you said. So even if you ask him, you have to be explicit. Only with a hand, maybe with a maybe with a brush.
What I'm trying to say is, if you're explicitly telling him to do something, aren't you telling him to do the melacha, right? Because you're supposed to hint the person, right? He's like, do this, but I don't know, do it.
No, but here since some poskim say there is no problem to begin with.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why we go by the limits.
Yes.
But it's not explicit. So you can tell them explicitly, because some poskim say there is no problem to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, as I said, you can rely on this opinion in the case of the difficulty, in the case of the need, or you can advise somebody if somebody asks you what to do. So you say there is some poskim that allow. So basically, we don't follow this opinion, but for whatever reason, he has he's on Shabbaton, and it's the only jacket that he has. That's it. And if you're in a house, maybe you have 2 or 3 or 10 jackets, but when you're out, so you have only one. So what to do, right? And if everybody there is going to come with a jacket, and you're the only one without the jacket, it would not look good. In a sense, so people were going to look. Okay, so continue. Removing dust in unusual manner. In a situation where no Gentile is available, to clean off the very dirty garment. So we're talking about very dirty, so right? Because slightly dirty, as we said, we can do ourselves. And the owner has no other suitable garment to wear, and is embarrassed to wear the dusty one. One may rub off the dust with the elbow, or in some other unusual manner. Okay, so they say, okay, do it with the elbow. Removing dust in an unusual manner is merely prohibited rabbinic, and the rabbi is granted the dispensation for the sake of human dignity. Kavod HaBRIT. So for human dignity, and you're going to see in other halachas, so it's one of the things that sages were very makpid to not to get people embarrassed. With many things. So here,
does that apply to a stain by any chance? To a stain, let's say you have a stain on your shirt, white shirt, bright white shirt, something falls, and I mean you immediately remove something, but you're like, okay, could I use,
when you remove, for example, you were eating salad, right, and piece of tomato got stuck to the shirt. So you can remove tomatoes. You cannot do anything to the stain.
The stain itself.
But the tomato does not have the stain. And I said that's the different thing. Okay, so let me see.
Yeah.
So you have a few more minutes, or you want to stop?
Yeah. No, it's good. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So a few more minutes. Okay, summary. Okay, of course, not good idea to start before summary. Summary of section 2. According to accepted halachic opinion, it is forbidden to remove dust that has been absorbed in a garment. Accepted halachic opinion. Okay, this prohibition does not pertain to the surface dust. So meaning that it's on top, but only the dust that trap between the fibers. So that's if it's on a surface, it's one thing. So sometimes like if you like lean on something and you have this dust, you see that you can just blow off, right? So that's also there's no problem whatsoever. So you can blow off with air, so it would be allowable. Okay. The prohibition applies only to the garment that is significantly dirty. There is contain enough dust to deter the owner from wearing. So meaning if it's not so dirty, there is no problem. So you can, as we said, it's lightly dirty, so you can clean it. Even when the garment is not significantly dirty, one may not remove the dust with a brush, nor shake or rub it the garment vigorously. One may only shake the brush lightly with a hand or dry cloth. Okay, but even with the dry cloth, I guess you can clean it, more or less. Right? Continue. It is permitted to ask Gentile to clean off the garment that is significantly dust. When no Gentile is available and one has no other garment to wear and is embarrassed by the dust, one is permitted to remove the dust in unusual manner. Okay, so they say unusual manner. Okay, so let's see part 3. All right, so it's very long. So let's stop here. Let's stop here for today.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much. Any questions for me?
Yeah, that was pretty clear. I mean, yeah, it's all the way, it was all about the dust and how can dust be shaken off and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's in the fibers. Yeah, I mean, it's very clear. It's very clear.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very black and white, pretty much, right? It's like as much as possible to try to avoid doing it.
Yes.
Not to, even with the goy, I think better not to rely on that. That's what, or with anything, because it's like
Of course.
you start with explicit instructions, it becomes, yeah. No, I've noticed that myself. There were times when they would tell me to do this for them, and be like, yeah, can you please do this and this? It's guaranteed. They're gonna tell me and even when the people, when they give hints, they can be, they don't know how to give a hint. They could be, okay, it's too dark here. They're like, yeah, but you know what? I forgot. There's something over there. There was also an oven. It's like they will make me do multiple melachot sometimes. It's happened. It's a
separate subject. It's a separate subject. Yeah. We're going to get to it, and how and what exactly you can ask a non-Jew, and in what fashion you can ask him. So it's not everything like just because you hint him. It does not mean that it's allowed. You understand?
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's accidental. If it's not accidental, if you expect person to do like on a weekly basis, like I tell you this example, like many years ago, we went to the West Coast, right? In the I don't want to say the name of the day. It's a big city, but I think it's only one kosher show there, maybe 2. So right, so we went to this. It's huge place, huge. They even have a complex. They rent apartments. If somebody lives away, they can come and stay at the apartment for Shabbos. They pay. I mean, okay, no problem. So me and my wife, we came early to the show, right? Because we stayed maybe 40 minutes walk, very, very far. So we came early to the show, and there is this guy, non-Jew, that works there, and he asked, would you like coffee? I said, of course we like coffee in the morning, right? I mean, my wife said yes. Me personally, I don't drink anything before praying, but it's not that it's not allowed. Me personally, So we went to get coffee, right? So we went to get coffee, and he said, no, wait, I'm going to brew the coffee now. I said, you're going to do what? He says, no, I know the drill. I said, what do you mean you know the drill? Well, tell me. So this, and he was, this guy was so proud. He said, no, I'm going to make this coffee for myself. I'm going to drink the first cup, and after me, you can drink. So basically, so this rabbi, the clown, right, or somebody, they took this concept, this halach out of concept. So the guy is boiled like, I don't know, like 200 cups of things, right? And he drank like 8 ounces, and everything is allowed. How is it possible? You know, it says if he made like for himself, and he was planning to drink 2 cups of tea, and he drank only 1, so you can use that as the second one, because it was not intended. He did not intend it for you. But if he was like, if it happened once and second time, you know, and he saw you drinking the tea, right, previous Shabbos, and the next Shabbos he said, you know, I'm going to pour water for 3 cups. What is it? Just for my friend. Now it's not allowed. He did it specifically for you. You understand?
You know,
so for these clowns, that they took
200
200 cups bucket and it's allowed for everybody? Out of context. Yeah, go ahead. What do you want to say?
No. You know, many times what would happen, I'm invited for Shabbat dinner, right? And obviously I can turn on and off the light. Then they would say, they knew the hint part. They said, oh, it's a little dark. But for me, it was not dark. You know, for me, it was perfectly fine. I could eat in that environment. For them, they needed the extra lights. It's not that they couldn't eat. It was daytime. It was not nighttime, pitch black. A little bit more light. But I could personally eat, okay, in that environment. But technically, I'm still doing it for that environment.
Yes.
You know? But it was like, yeah, okay, it would be better for all of us to have that.
Yes.
But you know, many times
it's not.
It's like when people are not, you know, when the strictness is not there, they will, okay, a few times it happened, you know, they were inside a room, they couldn't study. I think it was maybe Shvi Shel Pesach, I remember, or Hoshana Rabbah, one of these days. No, Shvi Shel Pesach, and they were supposed to do the all-night learning.
Yes.
And I came inside and, well, again, I don't know if it's my fault or I said, listen, I also want to, you know, maybe in this case it was different because I do want to study. For me, in my case, I want to study what's happening in the shul. Right? But then the light was for everybody, right?
Yes.
So maybe will that be something that's allowed, or
yes? So if you but okay. So if it's only one main light, there are no 2 lights. There are no that small light that you turn on and it's not for you. Right. So if it's one main light, that's the only way for you to study. So you did it for yourself, and everybody else is allowed. But otherwise, it's not. People. So it's a very specific. It's a very like halakha is very well defined. And B'ezrat Hashem, like after this, and few other volumes, we're going to get to this loss. All right. So my battery is dying. So let's stop here. B'ezrat Hashem until tomorrow, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a second, let me start.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל אשר יפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכרו לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעביר לו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
כן.